Hello everybody, it's Cobalt here, and welcome back to another video. It is finally time for another installment of my custom commission series. Basically, every single time I finish an LPS custom commission, I document it not only with photos for my Instagram, but also with a little video clip to, talk about it, explain it a little bit, and overall just keep track of every custom that I make as a commission to see my progress and have examples of things that I can make. And of course, with the fact that I record a video clip of all of them, it makes for easy free content like this video, which is basically just a compilation of all of those clips. But these are not recent commissions. In fact, all of these were actually from 2023. I can't remember exactly what point in the year, but I always procrastinate on editing these videos, and especially in 2023, I made so many customs and did so many commissions for people, which I really appreciate, but that definitely leads to a backlog of a bunch of clips. Someday we'll get to the 2024 ones, but by then it'll probably be 2026. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right on into this video. This commission is one that I absolutely love. It is for somebody on Etsy of their original character. Here is the reference sheet that they sent me, but this guy has a lot going on and a lot that I want to talk about. So first up, I want to talk about the head swap. You might not recognize which head or which body this is. For the body, it was one of these dogs. I have absolutely no idea what kind of dogs those are supposed to be, but they actually have really great body shapes, so I used that as suggested by the commissioner. And then for the head, we originally were not sure what to do, so I decided to pitch the idea of using one of the fairy dragon bases, so those ones. If you're familiar with the fairy LPS, their heads do not bobble, but as you can see, this guy's head is bobbling perfectly well. That is because I did a neck peg replacement. If you want a tutorial on how to do that or how to install neck plugs into Generation 3 LPS, I actually have a video tutorial about that, so go check that out. But anyways, as for sculpting, I sculpted the hair, I sculpted his two little fangs, I sculpted the fins on both sides of the head. I did have to cut off these spikes that were on this original base, so I smoothed the back down as best I could. Not the best, but that is what sanding by hand will get you. And then of course I also sculpted his big tail with this fin on his tail. He has some spiky webbed feet, which I sculpted, and these two little fluffy bits on his shoulders. As for the paint job, I absolutely love this guy's design. I love the colors. It was so much fun to paint. It took me a bit longer than I expected with all of the little details on his arms and things like that, but as I've already said countless times, I absolutely love the way that he turned out. And then of course this one also has some cute little paw pads on the bottom. This character has green paws, and I definitely made sure to include those as well. This is an absolute S-tier head swap in my opinion, and I actually have a future commission that I'm currently working on with the same head swap. It is a very different looking character, so I'm excited for you guys to see that one as well. The next order consists of two customs. As you can see, they both go together as well. They are both from the Studio Ghibli film Kiki's Delivery Service. So I'm going to start off with this guy since he is the custom that I finished first. This is Gigi from the film. He is a little cat. I think this base figure works absolutely perfectly for him. This custom is just a simple repaint. There's no sculpted parts. I have actually made Gigi in the past, a little mini version of him from that mini G5 LPS, and then of course this is from another G5 LPS. I think this custom is super adorable. He was super quick and easy to make, and I think that he looks just like the character. And then of course the other character we have, the star of the film, Kiki. So this one was made from a short hair cat base figure, and she has some sculpted stuff. Of course I sculpted her hair, I sculpted her dress, and I sculpted her little bow. I think that she looks super cute. This was definitely one of those customs where I wasn't really liking it until I officially finished her, but now I think she looks absolutely adorable. I'm really glad I decided to add some blush on her face because I feel like that really brings the design all together and makes her look so cute. And I still wanted to make her style sort of similar to Gigi, so I made the eyes fairly simple to match his, but I still wanted to put a little bit more detail in them, so I added some brown shading, as you can see, and I love the way that her eyes turned out. I think her face is just my favorite part of the custom. And then for the purple, that's on both of them. I also decided to use the same shade of purple, so there was a little bit more cohesiveness there as well, and I think this pair looks very cute together. This next commission is a pretty simple one, but I think that she turned out really cute. It is for this person over on Instagram, and the only thing that I sculpted on this custom is her lab coat. It is a white lab coat on a white base, obviously, so I added some blue shading just to distinguish it from the body a little bit more, and I think it looks cool, and I think it adds a little bit more visual interest to match her eyes. If you think that the eyes on this LPS look pretty similar, it is because this custom is inspired by this pet right here. It is basically the exact same design without the spots and the flowers. So of course I made the eyes the same, I kept her black nose, and I kept her black tail as well. Other than that, everything else is just painted white. So even though she looks very simple, it still took me a while to make because white base coats take a ton of layers. But in the end, I'm really happy with how she came out, and I love the way that the eyes look. I think that I got the colors spot on. This next commission was was for somebody on Etsy of what I am pretty sure is their My Little Pony OC. I'm not really a fan of that kind of thing, but I think that this character has a super cool design and it was a lot of fun to make. As you can see, she is made from a Generation 2 horse base figure, and I sculpted all of the hair, I sculpted the 2 wings, and I sculpted this tail. The tail is very long and has this whole fluffy bit on the end, which I think is a really neat design, and I had a lot of fun making that. I think my favorite thing about this custom though is definitely the hair. I've never sculpted hair like this, and I think it turned out really well, especially here on the front. Like, it honestly looks like this is part of the original LPS, but it's all sculpted, so I'm super happy with the way that that looks. And of course, here is a side-by-side comparison of the reference sheet that the commissioner sent me along with the final version of the custom. I really like the way that she turned out, so I hope that the commissioner likes her too. And this custom took me such a long time for no reason, but as you can see, it is actually like super complicated, so I guess that makes sense. This is also a head swap custom. It is a head swap between a lop bunny and some kind of sitting dog, and this girl has a lot of sculpted parts on her. I sculpted one of the ears. Which ear did I sculpt? I sculpted this entire ear because originally the LPS had an ear that stuck up, so I resculpted this, and then for the ear on the other side, I elongated it so the bottom half of it is sculpted, and then I sculpted the 2 little fluffy bits on the cheeks. I sculpted these little alien antennas, and then on the body, I sculpted this big mermaid tail, and then the wings are not sculpted, they are 3D printed and glued on, and they were a pain in the ass to paint, especially this one back here. But I think it turned out pretty good. Paint colors definitely were not cooperating with me on this one, so it isn't the most smooth paint job in the world. It's still smooth, but some of the painted areas are a bit more raised than normal. I think that she turned out really cute though. I really love the eyes. I love all the colors. I think this character is super cool and unique looking, and it also has a bunch of little details. As you can see, there's 2 little green stars on the cheeks, there's 2 little blue ones on the paws, and some crescent moons on like the shoulders, and there's one there on the back leg as well. And this was a commission for somebody on Etsy. Here is the reference sheet that they sent me. Again, I think it's a very cool character, and she also has a little heart-shaped nose, and then 2 stars on the ears as well. Those are details that I almost forgot to add, but I made sure to add them in the end. And once again, here's what the bottom looks like, here's what the top looks like, and I also added a little bit of clay on the bottom of the back paws, since I saw on the reference sheet that the character has no paw pads, and the LPS had some already molded into the plastic, so I made sure to cover those up as well to just make it a little bit more accurate. Next up, we have another set of commissions. These are both for this person over on Instagram, and they have commissioned me 2 other times now, I think, which I really appreciate. Always a pleasure to work with them. Anyways, I'm going to start off with this custom because it is the one that I finished first. It is a little Nudibranch sea slug custom. This is my 4th time making a sea slug, and so far all of the ones I've made have been completely different, which is really cool, and they've all been really fun to make. But honestly, I think this is definitely one of my favorites. I absolutely love the colors. I think it turned out so cool. I love the eyes on this one as well. We decided to go with some star shapes in the eyes, which I think is super cute. I sculpted a big fin on the bottom. I sculpted the 2 smaller fins on the side, this little thing right here, these other fins that it has on its body, the 2 fins on its head, the little eyebrows, and the little antennas. This one also has very tiny little cute antennas, and everything about it is just so adorable. And then for the second commission for this person, we have this cat right here. As you can see, this is inspired by the LPS mystery crouching cat. So this LPS right here, that is a real LPS, but it's very expensive and very hard to find, so I made a custom of it for this person, and I'm really proud of the way that it came out. I think that it looks super close and super accurate to the actual pet. I'm very proud of the colors. I had to mix the orange base color for this one, and I think that I got it pretty close. I'm honestly not the best at mixing colors, but for this one, I think that it turned out really well, and this LPS is just so cute. And I don't know what I did differently about this one, but its eyes turned out so glossy, and I love it so much. And here is my signature on the bottom of this one as well. This next commission is definitely one of the biggest ones I've done in a while, especially in terms of sculpting. It is a commission for this person on Instagram, and it is a custom of the character Falcor from the movie Neverending Story. I've never actually seen this movie before, but it's on my watch list. I know, don't kill me, but I've actually seen a few other people make LPS customs of this character, but I'm glad that I finally got to try my hand at it because it is a very interesting design. So as you can see, I did a head swap with this custom. It is a King Charles Spaniel head on a dachshund body, and with the body, I had to cut the actual LPS's body in half and then sculpt all of this clay in between it. So really the only thing left over is the legs and the neck. And then of course I continued the sculpting to make its tail, and it also has all of these furry bits all over its back, along with a couple extra fluffy pieces on the arms and legs. And you can even see that here on the inner leg, even though it's sort of covered up by the tail. And then as for the sculpting on the head, we once again have the fur going from the body to the head, and I also sculpted sculpted these two eyebrow pieces here. And of course, I also had to resculpt the entire muzzle. As you can see, sculpted the nose, sculpted the mouth, sculpted these furry bits here on the cheeks, and this little ridge part that sort of separates the nose and whatnot. And I had so much fun painting this custom with all of the different details and scale markings, and especially the eyes. I love the way that the eyes came out. On camera, it does not do the details justice. There's a lot of little details in there. And then, as you might be able to tell, I also added a little bit of shiny pearlescent details. You can sort of see that up here on the forehead as I turn it. I just wanted to add that to mimic the scales a little bit more. And you can also see that here on the ear and the other fluffy parts. But again, it's a lot more noticeable in real life, so sadly the camera does not do it justice for you guys. But I love this custom so much. I'm so happy with how it came out, and I'm really excited for this person to receive it. And another little detail that I love about this custom is the little paw pads that I added on the bottom. I just think that that is a super cute little detail. The next commission I have to show you is this custom. It is made from a fake short hair cat LPS, and I sculpted the hair here and the fluff on the cheeks, the little necklace or collar, and this tail. This is a custom for somebody on Instagram, and it is technically a mood board custom, but they didn't exactly send me a mood board. They just sent me a bunch of different images and sort of an idea that they wanted me to translate into a custom. And so I drew up a design inspired by all of those things, and this is how it turned out. The custom is pretty much exactly the same as the initial concept sketch that I created, so I'm pretty happy with that because I think that the design, it looks pretty cool overall. It's got a bunch of cool stripes. I love the stripes on the ears and on the body. I think that's a very unique design. And with this one's eyes, it also has sort of a heterochromia thing, but not with two different colored eyes. Instead, the eyes are blue with hints of green in them. And also, again, I think the gold on the collar is very cool as well. And it is sort of like a combination of a tiger and a fox all rolled into one character. And here's what the bottom looks like. Next up, I have two commissions to show you guys. These are both for somebody on Etsy, and these ones really interesting and fun to make. They're technically mood board customs, but instead of being inspired by a random mood board, they were inspired by a mood board that was inspired by an actor slash character. I know that sounds confusing, but I will explain that more when I talk about these guys individually. So let's take a look at this one first because it is the one that I finished first. So here is the mood board that they sent me for this character. As you can see, it is inspired by Bucky from the Captain America Marvel movies and whatever the heck that actor's name is. I cannot remember off the top of my head. But anyways, it's inspired by him, and I think that was a really interesting choice for a custom, but I had a lot of fun designing this guy and painting him. So it is made from an ear up collie base, and I sculpted the hair, and I sculpted his little shirt that he's wearing. And other than that, I just wanted to come up with some sort of interesting idea based off a brown color palette to match the actor's hair color and things like that, and same with the eye color as well with the blue eyes here. And then to add the little Marvel reference, he even has the metal hand that Bucky has in the films. And then I did something a little bit different with the eyes than what I normally do, and I did the same thing with the other custom's eyes just so that they fit nicely together. Now let's take a look at the other custom. He is very similar with everything that is sculpted and design wise and stuff like that. So here's the mood board for this one. He is inspired by Chris Evans or Captain America, and I even made him a little mini Captain America shield that he can sort of hold like that. It's very small. But anyways, for this custom, just like the other one, I sculpted his hair and his shirt. For this one, I decided to add a couple little extra details. He has these flowers here on the side and a couple little extra tufts of hair on the side of his head as well. As you can see, the eyes are done in the same style as the previous custom. And again, this is just a design that I came up with that I felt fit the mood board and the aesthetic and the person as well. So very interesting commission choice. Not something that I would ever expect to be requested to do, but I had a lot of fun, again, designing these guys and painting them, and I really hope that the commissioner likes them. I think out of the two of them, this one is probably my favorite, but I love both of them, and it is very hard for me to choose. Those are all the customs that I have to show you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate the continued support, especially if you're one of the people who had their commission featured in this video. But obviously, if you've ever commissioned me at any point in time or ever purchased a custom from me, I really appreciate that as well. And even if you're just some random person watching this video, I also really appreciate that. The fact that people love and support my work like you guys do makes me so happy, and it's really cool, you guys. I would not have so many customs under my belt if it were not for all of you. So seriously, thank you so much. And of course, if you stayed this long in the video, comment down below which custom featured was your favorite, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!